Are you going to accept my recording in progress? Are you going to do it? Oh, you turned off the phone, you malaka. Again, why do you always exit? Now I'm stuck here on my own. I don't know what to do. I'm not prepared for a solo show. I always talk about it, but I'm actually not prepared. Okay, roster, how you doing? Let me tell you what's happened, okay? So this whole Zoom thing, okay, the Zoom thing comes on, and all of a sudden Mitch, like I initiate and he's got to accept it, but he does it on his phone. I talk a big game. I don't know what to do. I can't do it solo. There's only one thing I know how to do solo, and that's in the washroom. But that's for a different time. Welcome back, Mitch.
You had your time, but it isn't now. Locker rooms talking, I need you to zip it now.
Hey, buddy, sorry, buddy. You know what they do? They put the option at the bottom, and you know, I'm a top guy. I like being on the top. That's just my thing.
You like being on the top.
I love the top. Oh yeah. I mean, that's the Mish way.
That's why it's the missionary.
Yeah, that's right.
Why can't I hear you too well? What's going on?
Oh, there we go. No, I'm just fixing the camera.
Microphone. Now it's the microphone. Okay, I get it.
Okay, we good?
Yeah, we're good. Right. I'm good. Are you good?
I'm good. You know what's
Buddy,
not
why
good?
do you do it from your phone? Just you have a Surface Pro, for crying out loud.
Yeah, I do. But you know what? Can I tell you something? It acts up, and PS has got a virus. The computer's got the herpes. I gotta go get them cleaned up. Yeah,
you know, you download one bad piece of software and it's over.
And you know what? I don't know how this could have happened. That's the worst part. I have no idea how this happened. I have no idea. They told me when I bought this and I installed all these things on it. Yeah. They're like, "Oh, this is top notch." Blah blah blah. Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Leave it with me for 5 minutes. Let me see what I can do with this thing. Hold on a minute.
Speaking of downgrading, check out, look at this, right? So I went in the fridge.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a Diet Pepsi.
Nice.
But I gotta be honest, right? So I get it. Diet Pepsi, Coke Zero, all this stuff. Okay.
How is that?
Not good for you. It's got that aspartame in it, but it's all we had in the fridge.
Hey,
reality is,
what you can.
Who really likes this diet stuff? Do you think people legitimately like diet and say, hey, I prefer the taste of this? Or do you got to train yourself, Mitch? You can't tell me this is a superior product to real Pepsi.
So I'm going to tell you a story. I used to drink Diet Coke like I was Donald Trump. I used to drink it religiously, like it was offside how much I drank. And you're right. It is definitely a different taste. You got to train yourself. But then at that time in my life, I used to, mix it with my drinks all the time, all that stuff. And then I started losing the weight. And dude, I haven't drank a soda. I'm not lying to you. I know you might not believe me. Probably 15 or 20 years. Our good friend GM goes, "Hey, rye tastes better with ice and or just water." And at that moment, I never needed the Diet Coke ever again.
You know what?
So
it really does. Yeah. I used to do a rye and Coke or whiskey and Coke for whatever part of the world you're from.
Hey,
they were great. They were fantastic. I have no problem. But you're right. The sugar gets to me. So once in a while, it's funny. I used to drink a lot too, but once in a while, I'll treat myself because I like the soda. Like I like the carbonated drink, right?
Yeah.
But I appreciate a good soda. But you're right. I used to drink it lots, and I cut it out because especially when I found out that I had gout.
Hey,
this kind of stuff, you don't want it. You don't want that on the books. If you have gout, you get that fructose and any kind of sugar, and you stay away. And you're gonna say to me, Dimitri, no problem. Yeah. How about I'll just eat a bunch of fruit? No.
Yeah,
no. You can't overload on fruit.
That's crazy.
That's
what do you
crazy.
Want?
What do you think?
You want your foot to fall off? What's wrong with you?
Maro. Mitch,
can I ask you a question? I'm good, buddy. How was your happy birthday for your daughter, by the way? All the best.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
The fours, crazy fours.
They really do grow up so fast. So I was thinking about this. Think about this for a sec. She just turned 4 years old. Okay. I remember when she was a baby. I mean, now we have a 9-month-old, as we said. So you remember things a little more. You get a little nostalgic, right? You're like, oh yeah, I remember when we did this when Calliope was that age. But think of it, she's 4. Okay. She's 1/4 through being eligible to get her driver's license. Like I've done 1/4 of the process with her.
Yeah.
3 more.
I hear you.
And I'm like, no wonder they say it's gone so fast. I don't know, man. Do you want me to tear up? Was that your intention? Were you want the waterworks?
I wanted to leave you with this. They say that the days are long, but the years are short. There you go. It is. There it is. Little poetry for you. At
And
the
that's
end.
episode 168 for you, my friends. Hey, we had a blast. There's
Hey,
sports going
you
on.
guys-
Just turn on the
Hey,
channel, check it
So
out.
just check. There's other places that do this. That's all
Buddy,
good.
speaking
All right.
of sports, I got to bring
Yeah.
this up, right? Like, let's just
Sure,
start
go
with
ahead.
sports. Usually we go with a rant, like
Yeah,
bit
yeah.
of a rant here, but we brought it up. You watching what's going on with tennis and this whole little
Dude, I was just gonna
thing
ask
going on
you.
over there?
Yeah. Can I ask you a question? What year
Yeah.
is it?
Last I checked, 2021, sir.
2021. So there's this thing. It's called cancel culture. It's called mental illness. It's called a whole bunch of things that we've all, if you didn't know about it, guess what? You must have learned about it because it's been everywhere over the last year and a half. So Naomi Osaka, one of the top female tennis players in the world right now, a couple days ago goes, hey, French Open's about to start. So she puts on Instagram. She goes, hey guys, I got a little bit of the social anxiety. I don't feel good about talking to the reporters. Would you guys mind? And this is all on her Facebook and her Instagram. She goes, I just don't want to talk to the media right now. I'll play my games, but please don't bother me after the games. I just need to be. Well, I guess France or the French Open, and more particularly the French Open personnel and the council that runs that, didn't like that answer. They fined her $15,000 and said, no, you need to make yourself available to the media. So Naomi said, no problem. Guess what? I'm going to withdraw from this tournament and I'm out of here. And look, man, me and you, we've had Dr. Ryan Frank on the podcast. We're big advocates of the mental illness and all, and mental awareness and all that stuff. And dude, what is wrong with the French Open people? Like, do they not get any feedback? Do they not watch the news? Are they crazy? Like, they are teeter-tottering on getting canceled themselves. And I'm not even kind of joking right now. I'm dead serious. You know, there's an old saying, there's an old movie quote. I'm going to use another one from Batman. Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? Hey, French Open, you're about to get canceled. Be very, very careful what you're about to do here.
So first of all, I want to credit you for remembering that line. And what a
That's
line,
awesome.
right? Like, you know
Great
what?
line.
Oh man, that first Batman look, I get it. There's some really like superstar Batman, especially the latest ones. I'm not gonna lie to you, I dig them. Christian Bale, even the Affleck, the Ben Affleck.
Don't do it. Don't go that way.
But hey,
Don't go.
when Michael Keaton, that guy, oh, you hated him. Damn you, Jack Nicholson. Damn you. But look, Mitch, I got to kind of disagree with you here. I got a little upset about this because you talk about cancel culture and you talk about mental health and you're talking about the right things. And I think you're talking about some legitimate things that we should appreciate, that the French Open, yes, at one point should appreciate. But you know what? I'm also going to talk about the other side. And that's this whole entitlist attitude of you get everything. Okay. Because follow me on this. You know what? I can certainly appreciate. She comes on and she goes, look, I'm not in a good place right now with doing the interviews. I can show up, I can play the tennis and everything, but the interviews, guys, I'm not in a place. And what the mental health drive is allowed us to have a little bit of empathy and open up our mind, say, you know what, maybe there's things going on in a person's life that we don't know and we should respect it. No problem. The French Open, they come back because let's face it, you guys, she has a contract like everyone else to do media exposure. It's part of their job. It's part of the tournament. It's part about growing the game, growing your personal brand, blah, blah, blah. It's part of the whole thing. So what does the French Open do? Hey, you are falling out of your obligation. We have to fine you. And we're going to fine you $15,000 because in all fairness, you're not doing part of the obligation. No problem.
Right.
So you know what, Osaka, why'd you quit? Okay. Why'd you leave? And why did you go quit and say, that's it? Well, I'm not playing in it. No. They didn't kick you out of the tournament. So I don't understand how you're getting what you want. And it's only going to cost you $15,000 because it has an impact to the tournament and the game as well. So you could have just played your tennis. And I'm not trying to be someone who's harsh on mental health or think what she's going through. I legitimately respect that claim. But I don't understand why you had to make a big spectacle out of it And now the French Open is going to take it because what were they supposed to do? You fell out of a contractual obligation and they fined you.
I don't necessarily disagree with you. I'll be honest. In my opening little thing, I'm looking at it from the point of view, man. Pepe Le Pew got canceled. All right, Pepe Le Pew got canceled, and the way I look at it is, I think where I'm 100% with you. I'm actually going to back you up, and I'm going to say, you know what, this could have been done behind the scenes. You know, when you kind of went the day before and went on Instagram or Twitter or wherever you did, and you said to the world, I'm not going to take, you kind of put the French Open, like, you know, I guarantee you didn't tell them before you did that tweet or that post. And so now you put them in an awkward position. You could have probably called your agent or called them directly. I'm sure you have their number and said, hey, listen, this is the situation. And you know what, with all due respect, a lot of journalists would have probably respected the behind the scenes Privacy Act of that and said, oh, okay, she's not going to really be available, or we'll figure something out to maybe try to get at least one interview to at least meet some sort of obligation. So I do agree with you there. I think that she inherently did it.
Why'd she do a video post, thinking, Mitch?
Yeah, no, listen, man, you got a point. I'm with you. But where I'm the French Open now, I'm like, man, because I'm glad they're like, how about this? I respect, and if they decide to stick to their guns, and hopefully they don't get canceled. I mean, the French Open's a big deal. But dude, the way this world's going, I'm just worried they're going to get canceled. I'm worried that other tennis players are going to be like, obviously, because they don't have a union, they're going to back her up, and they're going to be like, oh no, you know what? You screw with one of our players, we're gonna back her up, and all of a sudden it becomes a thing. And that's what I worry about, is that this will become bigger and bigger and bigger, when really at the end of the day, I think communication, you know, my wife says it all the time. Hey, just tell me what you're doing, you stupid malaka. That's it. Just tell me what you're doing.
I just don't understand. And what bothers me about it is just the attitude of I'm not going to do what you ask me to do because it doesn't make me feel comfortable. I'm not in a good place. Fine. But when they turn around and say, well, look, since you're not going to do what you want to do, it impacts us as well, and we have to fine you. That's just the way we do business here.
Couldn't agree more.
Then call it a wash. I'm not doing yours. You're not doing mine. It's going to cost 15 G's for you. Which I get, it's not the money, it's the principle of the matter. But the end result is you could have been playing tennis, gotten away with not doing an interview, and the French Open has a marquee player to help, because the French Open's going to lose. And this is why I get so hot on it, because now you have the spite move of, oh yeah, well, let me show you why you need me more than I need you for ratings for tennis. I'm sorry, but guess what? And you know what, Osaka, the French Open's gonna be around for a long time.
Let's call it what it is. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, because look, it's just this sports, they move forward, they do their thing. And I'm not trying to rehash old things, but just if Colin Kaepernick couldn't get the job done, you think you can?
I see what you're saying. You know, I'm more worried about Nadal. Well, if he doesn't win the French Open, if they end up canceling this because of cancel call, what's he going to win? You know, then I'm worried. Then all of a sudden, Nadal, you know, it's a big thing. It's
maybe it's the Diet Pepsi talking.
It could be. You know what? I didn't realize this was a trigger for you. I had no idea. Real quick, what's on the itinerary today?
Well, look, we're talking the NHL playoffs. We're definitely talking NHL playoff. Oh, Toronto. Oh, do we have a show for you? Center of the universe. You know, American roster, just so you understand, Toronto's our New York.
Yeah.
You know, that's, you know, let's just leave it at that. We're going to talk the NBA playoffs. Some series have wrapped up. Some series are set in stone. We're going to peruse quick on it, Mitch.
We already talked a little tennis. There's Quick Pick 6. There's Maga Malaka and Rapid Banter. And we move over there. Boom. There it is. Where can they find us real quick, Dimitri?
It's very simple. Remember, it's at RLRT Podcast if you are on Twitter and Instagram. It is also Real Locker Room Talk if you're trying to search us on YouTube. And don't forget, we got RLRT TV, our YouTube channel that you can search up. Boom, where you get to see the clips, the full episode. So roster, do us a favor. I know you download the podcast on Spotify, Podbean, and iTunes, but can you please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel? Maybe give
That'd
it a
be nice.
share or two. Give it a like. Just, give it some love.
Tell a friend.
Yeah. Yeah. Just give
Yeah.
it some water. Let the seed grow. Just let the seed
Like
grow.
this.
I love it, man. I love it.
All right, let's get the quick pick six. So we talked earlier today, not very long, but I told you I switched up quick pick six a little bit. You ready?
I'm ready.
Would you have made the Gretzky trade?
No.
Who would win, Mike Tyson or Tyson Fury?
Mike Tyson.
If Michael Jordan didn't retire, would he have won at least one more championship?
No.
You're a liar. You know you're being spiteful. Drew Bledsoe gets hurt. Brady comes in. He wins 7 Super Bowls. What if Drew never got hurt? Would Brady have won 7 Super Bowls on New England and or maybe another team?
No.
You're very pessimistic, by the way.
Culture, but during those times, it was a big culture thing too, man. You're talking dynasty. That's tough. It's tough.
Did Green Bay make the right move by getting off Favre and letting Aaron back in, or letting Aaron in, I suppose?
Yes.
Do you think, in hindsight, that LeBron James should have went to college?
No.
Bonus question. Do you keep Toronto's fabulous four together?
Absolutely not.
There it is. There's quick pick 6 + 1 = 7. We move to the NHL. It's time for Dump and Chase. Everyone's like, oh, they're going to go hot and heavy on Toronto. Well, wait a minute. They're talking about the French Open, the women's. Yeah, you know what? Because we have a lot of time. Who says that we have to be? Stan on Gappy Greek Radio used to tell us you have an hour. And you know what? Maybe you guys appreciated the 1 hour. Guess what? You're going to get maybe 2 hours of us today. Maybe I'm not mad today. Maybe you'll get 3 hours. I don't know. This could be the Joe Rogan of podcast for all I care about. All right, let's go. All right, here we go. NHL Dump and Chase. Here we go. So Johnny Hockey, turns out he goes to, I don't know if everyone knows this, but this is a true story. He goes to French immersion. And maybe there was a little piece of him that said, you know what? I got to take Montreal, game 7. I got to take him in 7 to beat Toronto. Me and Dimitri laughed at him. I know you did too, old cousin Jim. I know a lot of guys did. And they said, you crazy. When they were out, when Toronto was up 3-1, we were all laughing. Back in Toronto, we got this, no problem. And then all of a sudden, Johnny Hockey and that flow and the boys in Montreal said, we're going to bring our guy. We're going to make him look great once again during the RLRT NHL preview show. Johnny, by the way, for all those bettors out there, went 6 for 8. 6 for 8. Très bien, Johnny. Très bien. Bottom line, we all know what happened. Dimitri, Toronto's up 3-1. Montreal goes and wins 3 straight in Toronto to keep it 3-2. Win at home in front of that crazy rapid crowd of 2,500 people. Then they go back to Toronto and 550 people or something like that were all there. And they end up pulling it off. What happened to the Toronto Maple Leafs?
I'll tell you what happened, Mitch. It's finally confirmed for me. They have the wrong guys. They have the wrong guys that don't have the playoff attitude. And, I really, well, clearly, I picked them. I made the bold prediction, Stanley Cup champions, right? But look, man, I really believe that they had the team. And actually, I really believe that they do have the team. Okay. They do got good players. They got good young scores. They had some good veterans. They had some good, midline seasoned guys. They did some good moves on the defense. They were getting contributions from some unlikely players, which I know we're going to get into. We didn't realize they would be the only contributions. And they also got the goaltending from 2 people throughout the season. Not one guy. Had 2. When the number 1 guy went down, they got a guy that picked up where he went off and arguably did better.
way better. And the
The
stats will show
reality of
that.
the situation is this, is when you have Joe Thornton and Jason Spezza, who are old and slowing down and don't have the speed, and they're the ones that are trying to hold this thing together, this is a problem for me. Now, a Toronto fan, I don't want to hear any one of you say, well, if Corey Perry didn't hit John Tavares, you should not need all four of your big four to beat this Montreal team. I don't care. But why did Montreal win? They got seasoned guys. They got young guys. They clearly have the goaltending. We know that, right? Carey Price can come in and win and steal a game, no problem. But the big guys got no heart. They got no real leadership. They got no playoff grit. They got no when the going gets tough. How many times do you have to come into this situation? Whether you're down 3-1 in a series, whether you're up 3-1 in a series, whether you're up 3-1 in a game 7. How many times do you got to do this? You got the wrong guys and you took a shot. You paid 4 guys at that much money. And now, Dubas, your fears have come true.
Oh, yeah.
You got to look to unload, and nobody is going to be paying the market value. You went in with the money and you bought the biggest house on the block.
Oh, yeah.
And then COVID happened and you're trying to figure out how you can sell it at fair market value. But you know, and I know with these low interest rates, it ain't happening, pal.
Just not going, man.
This is brutal, Mitch. They got the wrong guys. They're all talented, but they got it. They lost to Columbus last year. They couldn't go through. Boston, every opportunity in the book that they've had to try to do it, they can't go through. And this year, you're up 3-1 against Montreal, a team that was battling with Calgary all year to see who would take the number 4 spot, to limp in. And you were up 3-1 to that team, and you can't close. You can't close. Mitch, brutal. And if anyone blames goaltending or the John Tavares, I would actually say that you should be on the test pilot to Mars.
Yeah. Agreed. And here's my whole thing, Dimitri. Everything you said, absolutely correct. Years ago, we had a podcast, RLRT. I can't remember what episode it was. We talked about something. Do you remember? Killer Instincts. The Killers. Yeah. And my friend, the Toronto Maple Leafs, since 2004, and we'll talk about that later, have no killer instinct. It doesn't matter. Like, in a lot of ways, they might have the Calgary Flame syndrome. You bring guys in and they just are not that guys. But with all being said, Austin Matthews, 40 goals, regular season, led the league, Rocket Richard Trophy winner. Mitch Marner ripped it up. Mr. Nylander had a good start to this playoff. Where did you go the last 3 games? Did you leave? Were you on the ice? I don't know where you were. I have no idea. And granted, Tavares got hurt in game 1, like relatively early. You were gone. Excuses.
They still were up 3-1, Mitch.
They were up 3. That's what I'm saying.
Even without him, they were up 3-1.
Dude, I'm sorry to say this. Tavares is super overrated. I'm sorry. Like, I'll say it over again. I truly never thought he was that great with the Islanders, and I still don't think he was that great even with Toronto. And respect, he's a great player. He's a gold medalist. He's Team Canada guy. If we were to select a team, he's going to be on the team, but he's not that guy that's going to take over a team. With everything that Dimitri said, I couldn't agree more. So for all those people that at the beginning of the year, you guys were going, oh, Frederik Andersen, he's not the answer. Let's go get a goalie. Well, you did. Jack Campbell came into this game, and I went to my stats guy, my dad, and he brought it all up for me. Brought to you by Bonacera. Stats. That's what we do. By the way, patio's reopened. Here's the thing.
Chicken wing Wednesdays and Saturdays.
Bring it down. And just patio. By the way, the patio looks great. But here's the whole thing. Look at Toronto's leading scores. Let me go over it with you real quick, okay? Nylander, 7 games. He did have 8 points. Okay, but those were in the first 3 games. After that, vanished. No one knows where he went. Alex Kerfoot was the second leading scorer on the Toronto Maple Leafs. 7 games, he had 6 points. Hey, you need those utility guys. I'm all down for those guys. But when I look down the list, and Austin Matthews, 7 games, had 5 points, 1 goal, and 4 assists. That's not what you're there for, my friend. You need to be putting the puck in the net, not passing it to somebody else to put it in the net. And then Mitchie Marner, 7 games, no goals, 4 assists, 4 points, obviously. Gichelnik, same thing, 6 games, 4 points. Jason Spezza had 5 points. You guys. So I go to the goalie real quick. Jack Campbell, 1.81 goals against and a 934 save percentage. He was not the problem. The players that are getting all the money were the major problem. So you're like, well, I bet you the Montreal big names. What big names? Let's go down to the Montreal stat list. Brought to you by my dad again. Over here, Toffoli, 7 games, 5 points. Corey Perry, by the way, former Hart Trophy winner, hit 7 games. You might hate him, 4 points. This guy, Aremia, 7. I don't even know who this guy is, but this guy tore it up. Nick Suzuki and Eric Stahl all had 4 points. What I'm getting at is this Montreal team did exactly what they were supposed to do. They played as a team. They played as a unit. They won. And by the way, Shea Weber, arguably maybe their best player, captain of the team, 0 points. Price won this series, granted, but at the same time, it's only because Austin Matthews, the big names, Mitch Marner, the other big names, didn't do what they did during the regular season. So you have a new name, guys. You're the regular season guys. You're not the playoff guys. You're the regular season. So on paper, you guys look good. But when the going gets tough, move out of the way, guys. I'm going to be calling Alex Kerfoot to take on your position.
You know what's funny? Talk about picking the wrong guys, right? Like I said, they picked the wrong guys on their top 4. Toronto did. Let's take a look at Jason Spezza and Corey Perry. What team did they belong to? Not so far back in the past. One Dallas Stars team that seemed to make some waves, in which our very own Johnny Hockey predicted as well, but that's for a different time. But and now look at this, right? So now you got the Canadian teams. These guys are on the market. I have an idea, Spezza from before, but it's like, I'll take Jason Spezza. No problem. I'll take Corey Perry, because that Toronto-Montreal rivalry is alive and strong. So you picked the right guy. You got Eric Stahl versus Joe Thornton, 2 people that are, that were captains of their squad. One has a cup. One's made it to a final. Well, you made your choice. And it's funny because Mark Bergevin gets a lot of heat. Like, the other thing too is, like, I think Montreal fan, like, we rip on Toronto, but hey, Montreal fan, you should really keep your mouth shut when you're talking about this GM, because here's a guy who's taken a subpar team and found the right guys to make them exciting for you to get to watch playoff hockey. So in my opinion, as we say, Toronto fans should ease off of the goaltending situation. Well, guess what, Montreal fan? You better lay off your GM situation and thank your lucky stars that this guy knows how to pick up the scraps, because let's call it what it is. Canada's not Florida. Canada's not sexy. There's only one team that's sexy, and that's the Edmonton Oilers. And we'll get to you
in a minute.
Right?
But you know what? Can I say something real, Bergerman? Maybe the best dressed guy in the NHL, not just GM.
Oh,
the guy's got some great suits.
But he's ZZ Top. He's a sharp dressed man.
He is a sharp dressed man. He really is. Yeah. You know what? Listen, Montreal fan. Yeah. Lay off the gas a little bit. You guys have been pumping that guy pretty hard. You guys have been trying to get rid of him. But you know what? He's made some moves, and I think he just kept his job for a couple of more years after that. That looks great. Listen, so we move forward. I think we've ripped Toronto enough. I mean, what else is there really to say outside of shame on you guys? I said to you guys on this podcast last week, I said, hey, you guys are up 3-1. You guys have to show that you have that killer instinct. You got to snap the neck, is I think the reference I used. And you guys, somehow you shot the deer. The deer got up, took your gun and shot you. I don't know how this happened. I'm not a hunter. I don't think that's a thing. Is that a thing? Could that happen? I don't know. I've never seen that happen. Apparently, I guess it does happen. So shame on you, Toronto. Shame on you, because you got everyone excited. And, I kind of blame the Raptors a little bit as well, because now you guys have made the city feel like champions, and then they thought they had a chance. I blame the Raptors a little bit as well. That's it. All right. A little
Somehow,
pressure. A
they're
little
at
pressure.
fault.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, round one is now completely over. We're off to round two. A few games have already been played. Let's quickly go over them. Let's start with, it's a great one. It's Carolina versus Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay already up 2-0. Low scoring affairs. This is good, grimy hockey, as I like to call it, like good hockey, like in the trenches. The good players are playing well. Like everyone's doing what they're supposed to do. And dude, am I gonna just have to say it? Like, I know they're up 2-0, so it's not a hard prediction here to make. But Tampa is getting healthy at the right time. They're winning these grimy games. They've got the talent. They got the goaltending. Have we been a little too easy? Like, have we let our hate for Tampa Bay may basically allow us to remember that they might be the best team in the NHL still?
Yeah, no, not me, Mitch. You've been, your power rankings. You've been dodging them a long time, and I think they took it personally. I know we have downloads in Florida. I'm just saying, maybe Stamkos, maybe he's like, hey guys, when I was kind of Kucherov, maybe they were listening to us. I mean, what else do you have to do, right? When you're injured,
what are you gonna do?
We talked about it. I know, when we did our pick 'em there with Johnny Hockey and ended up having Carolina come out on top. I still believe it's a possibility, but I don't think it's going to be a reality. I mean, the thing with Tampa Bay, look, we just talked about the Toronto Maple Leafs that have a really good team on paper and can't close worth shit. Well, let's look at what a team's supposed to look like. When you got a really good team on paper, but they just know how to shut it down, close it, and win the game. Okay. And they've been doing it for a very long while, even before they won the Stanley Cup last year. So it was, they just been on the wrong side of a couple big teams. Like, who are they losing to, really? I mean, they were losing to teams like Chicago and Pittsburgh. I mean, let's look at what those teams did in the last decade. But they finally were able to close it out. And this is what's happening in Carolina. It's just the X factor, Mitch. These games are super close. Like, Tampa Bay could sweep this series and it'd be 2-1 every game. And it's not really what happened, but man, they're good.
Yeah. I hate to admit it. Yeah. They're getting better, but because we're Johnny Hockey guys, we're cheering for the jerks. So we're cheering for Carolina. We want, I've specifically, I know Dimitri is as well. And, okay, Carolina, let's get going here. Let's go. The other division in the East, let's go over there. I said that one of these teams in the East is going to represent in the Stanley Cup. I'm just going to stick to my guns. It's Boston, New York Islanders. And you know what? I have been watching some highlights on Instagram and of the fans of the two teams. This one is intriguing. The series is now tied at 1. I still don't know. I'm going to take the Islanders just because I kind of took them against Pittsburgh. So they're kind of the only horse I have left in the race. I'm going to take the Islanders, but man, that Boston team looks good. 7? Does it go 7 this one? 7?
Yeah, I think it does, Mitch. And again, I don't know. Like, I knew after game 1 when Boston just gave it to them that wasn't the real Islanders team. They might have been tired, or they were, these things happen, right, in game 1s. Look what we're going to talk about Colorado, Vegas. I mean, same type, same kind of thing here. But yeah, I just don't know. Like, these are two teams that have, good scores, good character guys, good defense, good goaltending, like good coaching. I think coaching is a really, really big thing for both of these teams' success. It's going to be hard. I think Boston is going to edge this one out, though. I think Boston's just a little bit better skill-wise.
I just love that there's two series where it's not 100% accurate. Like, it's not there. And actually all these series, and we'll go through them real quick.
No,
there's no, it's a non, where before we're like, oh, there's no problem. Edmonton's going to win this for sure. Except when I changed it. But that's the point, is that at the end of the day, nothing's a guarantee. Let's talk about Vegas, Colorado. Colorado laid a bitch slapping. Let's just call it what it was to St. Louis. And then they didn't stop there. 7-1 slapping again to Vegas in game 1. And they're up, 2. I got 2-1 right now. Avalanche are leading in this game. Colorado hasn't lost. They don't seem to want to lose. They might just go undefeated. I don't know. Like, thoughts on Colorado and the Avalanche? I'm going to take Colorado in 6 in this one. I think Vegas has got 2 games in them. I think you got to go on a small little hit.
Mitch, they could have 2 games in them. I don't know. This one's going to be tough. I kind of almost think Colorado might take care of business in 5, and I'm so hesitant to do a sweep. I like Colorado has so many things going for this team, from speed to grit to leadership to defense. Like they're scoring, they got defense, they got the goal to and look at Grubauer. Like I think he's got the either the best or second best goals against average right now in the playoffs. I don't know, Matt. Colorado's like really, really stacked. But again, let's talk about the leadership. Like, man, when you see Nathan McKinnon, when you see Landeskog, when you see the guys on your team that are supposed to be the leaders, being leaders on all sides, it drives the whole team.
Dude, this team they look so good. Like, I don't want to, I'm not trying to jump on their bandwagon. I kind of want to, but they look great all the way around. I still don't know why I don't think they're good enough to win it yet. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know why.
It's the burgundy.
It's the burgundy.
It's the burgundy. It throws
you
off.
And you know what it is? It's also because a couple of podcasts ago, you were very upset about the retro jerseys and the fact that they're honoring the Nordiques, which I agree with you. Why are you honoring the Nordiques?
It's a slap in the face.
You, and then you guys are wearing their jerseys. So if you're a Colorado resident, born and raised, and you go to the game, you happen to go to the game where they're wearing the retros, you're like, what the hell is going on over there? By the way, mushrooms and marijuana are legal in Colorado. So I'd imagine that that's exactly how that person looked at it when he was in the stands, and he's like, what the hell's wrong with their jerseys today? You know what I mean?
Yes,
so
it makes no sense to me. A retro jersey from Colorado, I can get behind that.
Right.
Weren't they, but that team was from Quebec.
Right.
Not just like a different country. Quebec. Yeah. It was never Quebec when it was in Colorado. It was only Colorado in Colorado. You can't back retrofit. That's ridiculous.
And on top of it, why are you honoring the team, the city that didn't want you? They didn't want you.
Yeah, man.
That's my whole thing. Like, I don't get why they're like, oh, this is the city that didn't want us, so we're gonna wear their jersey. That doesn't make any sense.
Dude, that's like stealing some guy's wife and then asking that same guy to baptize your kid. You don't do that.
You know what? Yes, that's a great
you don't
point.
Do that.
You don't do that.
You know what? Hey, Colorado, I respect you. And you got some great hockey, but maybe show a little class.
Okay?
Don't be such a Nordic, okay?
Yeah. And then finally we go to the north. And as I just saw, listen to this. So Montreal comes off their high. They go and they bust Toronto in the mouth for 3 straight games. And what do? They're taking on the Winnipeg Jets. They've been sitting on the sidelines. Hey, we beat Edmonton in 4. Ladies and gentlemen, Montreal just slapped Winnipeg in the face. They take game 1, 5-3. And this just hit me. You said it earlier. Montreal's been sitting or been kind of fighting to get into that 4 spot with Calgary. Calgary's like, oh, we're going to fight you guys. We might get that 4 spot. It wasn't much of a fight, but at the end of the day, Montreal was in that playoff mode. So I'm thinking Toronto was leading the whole time in the North. They've had the lead from day one. So what if the Calgary Flames are the reason that the Montreal Canadiens are on this hot streak right now? Maybe that's the whole thing, and we didn't even think of this. You're welcome, Montreal. Yeah. You're welcome.
I don't know. Maybe a thank you. Hey, maybe one day you can retro wear our jersey.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. Oh, there it is. There it is. It's Dump and Chase. Real quick, the NHL draft was tonight. The Buffalo Sabres end up getting the number 1 draft pick. The Seattle Kraken will pick at number 2. The Flames, I think, are at 12, and there's some other teams in between there. But you brought up a great question right before we started the podcast. I told you about the draft order, and then you're like, what team wouldn't you want to play? And you know what? I leave that. Here's a quick question. It's a quick rapid banter slash quick pick six. Dimitri, what team is the worst team to play for in the NHL?
Yeah, you know what? I went up and down, and I said, what team would it actually be? And I mean, part of me thinks that it is the Buffalo Sabres. I think that's like the purgatory of the NHL. You know, I really went back and forth with teams like Columbus.
That could be
Columbus. That was a tough one for me. I said, eek, I don't know if someone.
But you might see LeBron. You might see LeBron at a Starbucks. So that one's not bad. That's not
Buffalo.
Okay. Yeah, who you gonna see there? Stephon Diggs. Like, who cares?
Mitch, I don't know. It's a real. That one's a tough sell for me, I think.
I'm with you, partner. I'm gonna say Buffalo. Like I thought about the geographical area. It used to be you don't want to play for Florida or Tampa Bay. Hell, what are you talking about?
Yeah, because
some of the best teams.
I hate walking out of a rink in sandals and shorts. Boy, does that suck. Yeah.
And seeing girls in like bikini tops and stuff.
Oh, no, I don't want to go to Miami Beach today. No, I don't.
That sounds horrible. Nah. Carolina's got the coast, so that's good. New York, you of course you want to be there. Go to the West Coast, the Anaheims, the LAs, you want to be there. Vancouver. Dare I say it? Do I say Calgary and Edmonton or like slash second, third?
Say,
Winnipeg,
like Edmonton,
Winnipeg,
Edmonton, and Winnipeg are the other teams too, Mitch. Like who really wants to go there?
Minnesota. There's another one, maybe.
Oh yeah, that one's rough.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to cheer for the Vikings. That
one's rough. I'm just pulling up the. You know what? Jersey.
No, see, you're only 20 or 30 minutes away from New York.
You're right.
Long Island.
And you know what?
It's not a big deal.
You got Satrials and the Bing.
And exactly. I couldn't agree more. With that being said, let's talk a little NBA. Let's quickly jump over to the hard court because, hey, you want to talk a little Jersey. We'll get to them in a second. Let's quickly talk. I want to do a quick little rant, if you don't mind. 1 second.
Oh, Mitch.
Everyone's talking,
away, my friend.
Everyone's talking about Damian Lillard. Last night, double overtime against the Nuggets. The Nuggets, who are without Jamal Murray, Canadian, and he was like, an epic. Well, he is. He's a great point guard. But Joe Chitty, he's taking care of the team. He's like, hey, don't worry. You go to work. I'll take care of the kids. I'll be okay. I'll figure it out. Blah blah whatever. Double overtime. This guy drops 55 points. He drops a couple of 3-pointers to get the game into overtime and double overtime. Hey, exciting stuff. But at the beginning of the NBA preview show, I said, you need to win the first game you need to win this series. And you, especially you, Lillard, stop with all this. You're the best one-on-one player. You probably are, but it's a team game. I need you to take Portland to the next round, and you're going to lose to Denver again. So go ahead and score 60 points, man. Go ahead and do 70 points. But if your team loses in the first round, I don't care. Portland, you're on notice like the Toronto Maple Leafs. You're almost on your way out. Get the hell out. Killer instinct, sir, you have it. I'll give you that. You are a killer. You know how to win. But killer instinct also is you bring your team together. You bring it all together. And you haven't figured that out yet. So with that being said, Denver, without their best player, maybe second best player, is about to knock you guys out. You have no excuse this time. Done. Done. So the Denver series is awesome. The last series I want to talk about, let's talk about your big man, your big LeBron James. So, Anthony Davis is hurt. I don't know what to do. I can't win without him. So Lakers are getting trounced yesterday by 30 points by the Phoenix Suns. All right, 30 points. Fair enough. Teams have their days. What does LeBron do? When he's not winning, 5 minutes left in the game, and he hits to the showers. Dimitri, look, man, we don't even end this podcast early and hit the showers early. I'm sorry, man, but every time you guys give me a reason to think that LeBron is the GOAT, I won't lie to you. I go to bed and I tell my wife, I'm like, they might have a point, Katrina. They might have a point. Now, why don't you come over here, honey? But anyways, the point is that those kind of moves that he does, this is why he's never going to be the GOAT, buddy. This is why when I'm not winning, I'm going to go to the dressing room. Get out of here.
Mitch, let me ask you a question. When you didn't follow the rules at home, you came home late after curfew. Mom and dad said, hey, I get that your friends stay out too. I want you home at 1.
Sure.
And then you showed up at 1:45, 2:30, 3 o'clock.
4
And the
o'clock.
next day,
Week later.
your mom is like, I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Did it work?
Maybe.
Did you realize that maybe you did something wrong?
Sure.
Did you realize that maybe you disappointed someone? Look,
I see what you're saying.
you just talked about a series, Mitch, in which one guy is doing so much for the team, but you got to find a way to get everyone else to step up. Now you're talking about, I can't win a game without Anthony Davis. You mean the same guy who did it against the greatest regular season team of all time, last dynasty, LeBron James, down 3-1. We want to talk about 3-1 series. Let's talk about when he took the Cleveland Cavaliers from 3-1 over. Quiet, Mitch.
Am I talking to my mom? Are we gonna live? Are we gonna live? Am I talking to my mom?
But the reality of the reality is this: LeBron James is doing everything this year. The guy's trying to do everything. He's got no support, Mitch. No one's Who's stepping up? Who's stepping up?
Do you see my reaction? Are you seeing this?
But who's stepping up? So he wasn't going to be in that game anyways. They're getting blasted by 30 points. They're not putting him back in. And I'm sorry, Mitch, you want to talk about a lot of the greats? Yeah, a lot of the greats did do stuff like that. A lot of the greats, when we watch Tom Brady, when you're supposed to be a class act leader, yell at players on the sideline and demand. Yell, respect. Have guys benched, okay? Because Tom Brady and Michael Jordan did that. They legitimately went to the organization and said, I don't want that guy playing next game. So I'm sorry. If LeBron James says, I'm not sitting here and going to watch this because this is BS. Nope, sorry. So no, he should demand this kind of respect, because why is it that the oldest guy on the team is playing the hardest? Why, Mitch?
I'll say this. Listen, LeBron is easily the most talented player on his team, and he's probably even actually the most talented player, dare I say, on the other team. Okay. But dude, but the one thing I'm going to tell you, and I'm just going to say this one last time, is that you have to be a leader. And you know what the thing is? LeBron's got it in him. I've seen it. He has a leadership quality. If you're telling me that you think he strategically left so that he teaches them a lesson, okay. I'm just saying. I hope you weren't saying that, because he's
sitting there sick to his stomach. He's like, I'm not playing the rest of the game anyways. You know what? Screw this. You guys want to come out with this type of performance and expect me to be the only guy to bail you out? No. I'm hitting the showers early because guess what? I get that luxury.
Listen, Anthony Davis is a big deal, and he needs his Robin to him as being Batman. I get it, but he can't give up. He can't show that, because you know what? When he left, and this is the way I would take it if I was on the Lakers right now. Okay, if I see the best player on the team leave, he's now shown me that he has no faith in us. That he's got the leader, the greatest player in your mind of all time, and all this stuff. He doesn't believe in us. We're done. He just killed his own team. Maybe he didn't mean to do it. But at the end of the day, by doing something like that, which I think is absolutely selfish, it's sad. So when you're not winning, LeBron, you're going to take your ball and go home. Okay, do that tomorrow when you guys are up by 30 and go and leave the dressing room early. Then you know what? Maybe I'll make it even. But even then, like, just
Mitch,
Dimitri,
he's never done that before. He's done it once.
But Dimitri, it doesn't matter. One is one too many times. He knows better. He knows one thing, and we all know this. All the cameras are on him. He could be picking his nose. That's all that we care about. Holy cow. Did you see how deep he went? He went knuckle deep, blah, blah, blah. Holy cow. They'll do like a prognosis, at the end of the day, man, LeBron has got to be smarter than that to do what he did. I'm sorry. I think he completely lost the team when he did something like that.
LeBron, you get a pass.
No, you don't.
A pass. He's allowed one, Mitch.
No.
He's allowed one.
You can be on the show. I'll say this. You want to come on the show, LeBron? I'll respect it. You come on the show and you talk about it, and I'm okay with it. From there, we go to the East real quick. We got to talk about this series.
We got to do it.
The Brooklyn Nets / Jersey Nets versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Milwaukee did exactly what we wanted them to do. Yeah. The pressure was off. They broke the neck 4 straight against Miami. Boom, done, finished. It's Giannis, Middleton, and Holiday versus the other 3. Durant, Kyrie, Harden. What do you like? I'm absolutely excited about this year. I think it's gonna be great.
Oh man, this is the clash of the Titans, man. I'm really excited for this series too. And look, I'm gonna say this. I still think on paper Brooklyn is the team to beat in all of these playoffs. I am still favoring Brooklyn to beat the Milwaukee Bucks in this series. I want to. Yanni, you're Greek. I'm Greek. Mitch
Judas.
is Greek. Yeah, we want to do it, man. We want to do it. But the reality is this. Here's what I do know. I know that so far during the regular season, as well as in these playoffs, those three guys over there, they haven't let up. They're playing. There's no bad game amongst them. They show up. Milwaukee, your problem is not all your guys show up. And if you have a game where Yanni has a bad game, it's not good for you. So Middleton, hey, yeah, this year. This
might be the guy, might be the reason.
You got to show me something. You guys got to play all the games, and you have to against this team. Again, Mitch, look, those guys individually, anywhere that they've been, have been consistent performers. They've always shown up to work. I mean, you're talking, look what Harden did in Houston. Okay. Look what Durant has done everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Kyrie, I mean, even from when he was in Boston. So these guys, Mitch, there's no let up, but Milwaukee, there's let up on your team. That's not a good sign for me.
You're absolutely right about everything said, but here's the thing. This is going to come down to defense this series. I'm 100% confident that offensively, both these teams can put the ball in the basket. Who's going to stop the other team? And that's where I wonder, do the Nets, do these guys, especially these three, have the prowess to stop anybody, like not just the other three, but the other guys? And I have to kind of give the edge to the Bucks when it comes to defense. That's why I'm going to take the Bucks. I just think they're a little bit bigger, and I think that they have a little bit of a better defense. I think it'll go 7. I think Durant could easily, just because, dude, when that guy plays, like, he's like water, man. He's fluid. His shot is beautiful. The way he moves is beautiful and all that stuff. And he is single-handedly maybe the best player in the NBA. And the reality is that he couldn't turn it around. And then he's got his other two guys who, are no slouches. I think I like the Bucks here just on a defensive side. That's it. And because, look, you're going to get 30 from Giannis. No problem. You're going to get maybe 20 and 30 from these guys because the other guys don't play that much defense. So it's going to come down to who can make a stop at the end. And I think the Bucks can make one more stop than the Nets can. That's it. That's where I go with it.
But Mitch, this is where, you face a team like this now. They're kind of like the new Golden State in the sense that it's a team that can shoot from anywhere by anybody. Everyone can shoot that ball with tremendous success. Yanni's game's got to evolve in that area as well.
Sure, he can't shoot the 3. Yeah, we all know that.
Right? Like, again, I'm not saying he needs to shoot the 3, but he's got to be ready and willing to put that in. And I know we're talking about a 2-time MVP and I would say from a, has he been the best player in the last couple of years? Yeah, probably,
yes.
Arguably for,
the greatest.
Yeah, the greatest of all time for sure.
Better than LeBron.
You got to show your versatility. It's a tough series, Mitch, but I'm really excited for it.
Well, here's the last question I'll give you. Is the NBA ready to have a guy with a beard win the championship? It's not a beard league. See, in the NHL, you grow a beard during the playoffs. Baseball, same thing.
Yeah.
Basketball's not ready for a beard. They're not ready. It's just not a beard league. We talked about this on one podcast before. It's a hairless league. It's not meant for hair.
Hairless league. Yeah.
It's a very hairless. Yeah. They're not men with the hair.
It's them and water polo, and they're kind of neck and neck.
Very similar. Very similar.
Very similar. Yeah.
Aesthetically. Exactly. Yeah, from there, we go to rapid banter. Here we go.
I love it.
Here we go. Regular season awards, Ted Lindsay finalists, Sydney, Austin, McDavid. Based on playoff performance only, who should win it?
Oh, come on. From playoff performance, it's Crosby.
Amazing. Do we do the rapid battle?
Yeah, I do it after, you know.
Jake.
Pew, 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 pew.
Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley set for September. Is this a little bit more intriguing for you?
Very much so. Very much so.
Snoop is going to host the Cambosos versus Lopez fight. Who should be his co-host?
It's more of what's my name.
Jesperi Kotanimi, number 15 of the Montreal Canadiens, scored his fifth in the 15th playoff game, scored in overtime at 15-15 on the 15th shot, and the game ended on the 15-minute mark against the Toronto Maple Leafs. What is his favorite number?
Well, I'll tell you, coincidentally, 15 is the amount of millions that each player on the Leafs seems to be getting as well.
Chelsea beat Man City for the UEFA Championship. Have you ever been to Chelsea?
Cannot say that I have. Not the city, at least. Oh!
I was like setting.
I know.
It was like a volley like this. I'm like, come on. There it is. Mitch,
I take the bait every time. Every time.
Mitch, Austin, Nylander, Tavares. Who should be traded to
Nylander.
get Seth Jones?
Nylander. They should have never signed that contract. Now you know what happens when you let a guy pigeonhole you.
Coach K is retiring from Duke. Are you worried that the Blue Devils will fall apart?
No.
A Southwest pilot was caught masturbating and completely naked on a recent flight. He was in the cockpit. He was minding his own business. What seems to be the problem?
Well, what are you supposed to do in the cockpit?
This
Why
weekend,
full naked, by the way.
I
just want to
by
say,
the way,
like,
what's your wait? You know what? Thank you for bringing this
like,
up.
you
I was
take the
waiting for.
shirt
I didn't
off?
know.
Like, I gotta ask, like, what did you take the shirt off for?
Well, hold on a second, real quick. What about the co-pilot when you're doing this? Yeah, good. What are you doing? No.
Hey, Gary, look away a couple minutes. Hey,
At this minute, doesn't the co-pilot like say, "Hey, you know what? Maybe you're going a little far here." You know what I mean? You're going a little far. Just saying.
holy smokes, hey.
Yeah,
It's like,
just
Gary, I said pull up, but I meant the plane. Oh!
And by the way, is that co-pilot a rat? Just curious. Is he a rat for ratting the guy out?
I mean, there's got to be some kind of level of understanding. That's a tough sell.
That's a tough
Hey,
sell.
you know, you and I are going to be working together a long time. Something you should know about me. Why do you take the shirt off? Did he leave the captain's hat on?
I don't know. Well, you know what? Actually, the shirt makes sense. The hat was off. The shirt was off.
No, the shirt makes sense, does it, Mitch? Oh, really?
No, the shirt because mess.
Yeah,
messes.
because
you don't know.
Oh,
Messes,
relax,
messes.
man. Relax.
I'm just saying, you never know, man.
Your
never
Johnny
know.
Sins all of a sudden. Take it easy, buddy. Take it easy. Come on. I think he can fill up a big
All
goal.
right, here we go. This weekend, Mayweather versus Logan Paul. Will you buy the pay-per-view, and who will win?
No and Mayweather.
Goalie Anton Khudobin, Dallas Stars goalie from last year, and literally a fan favorite here at Real Locker Room Talk. Believe it or not, is a certified beautician. What treatment does he specialize in?
Well, going off the previous topic, it's clearly got to be a facial.
Dimitri, the answer was face wash. Face wash. That's what the answer was. It was a face wash. Hockey, face wash. Come on. Grow up. Grow up.
Right.
Grow up.
That's right. Sorry.
Grow up. Jesus.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant.
All right. From there, we go to Maga Malaka.
Of course we do.
So I saw this earlier. I told Dimitri about it. I saw this rant about the Toronto Maple Leafs, and it was funny because I thought it was hilarious. This guy goes, "Hey, did you realize that the Toronto Maple Leafs have not won a playoff series since 2004?" So it made me go, "Hey, what was going on in 2004? Here it is, Maga Malaka. Cool things, not cool things. Maga Malaka, 2004."
Okay.
Number one, Britney Spears was the number one superstar in the world, Maga or Malaka in 2004.
Maga, come on. Who didn't have the CD, Mitch?
Yeah, it's true. You know what? It's so true. And I mean, it didn't matter if you're a guy, middle-aged, older, younger, girl, whatever. Everyone was into the Britney. Everybody.
Who didn't?
Yep. Oh, believe it or not, in 2004 Super Bowl, there was a little bit of a fiasco. It was the Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson scenario. Maga or Malaka?
Ooh, you know what? I'm going to say Maga because everyone talked about it and it was ratings. And you liked it.
And BS. Hey, it wasn't an accident.
Come on.
Justin.
Cut.
Justin.
Hey, if they're letting us know that UFOs exist, just tell us the truth.
And on top of it, there's guys in planes that are getting completely naked. We don't think we know.
Come on.
The number one movie in the world in 2004, Shrek 2. Maga or Malaka?
No, Malaka. I thought they stretched themselves too thin. Number one was better.
I couldn't agree more, man. The donkey. The donkey is the character here, not Mike Myers. This is the donkey.
I just never saw the purpose of a second adventure for Shrek.
Quick thing. Yeah, quick thing. The donkey and the dragon. How does that happen? I mean, that's, people use that analogy, donkey, whatever. Really? With a dragon? That's pretty.
With an imagination, anything can happen.
Mm-hmm. Good point. Couple of cult classics were created in 2004. First one up, it's you, Napoleon Dynamite, Maga or Malaka.
This might be blasphemy, Mitch, but I thought Malaka. I actually never thought it was that funny. And I truly believed that people that quoted the movie only did it because everyone else at a house party would quote the movie. So you had to be involved. It was kind of stupid.
I actually agree with you. We've never talked about this before, so I'm glad I'm not the only one that thinks this way. I do agree with you. Well, there was another cult movie that started that year, and it's not so much a cult because this guy is in my opinion, should win the Oscar every year. Anchorman, Maga or Malaka?
60% of the time, they say it's the best movie every time. Yeah, man, Maga. Anchorman's amazing. Who you tell me one person who doesn't have at least one line that they quote from Anchorman, whether you like the movie or not. And if you haven't even seen the movie, you're still quoting lines from it. Come on, get out of here. Don't do it to me.
You know what? I couldn't agree more. And man, Will Ferrell, the dude is just beauty, man. He's so funny. Blaka, just hilarity everywhere. He's beautiful. Beyonce won her first Grammy without the Destiny's Child. Maga or Malaka in 2004?
Look, I'm gonna go Maga. That's a tough sell. You go from a crazy group to crazy single. You win. It's like the Timberlake.
Look, this is where we disagree. Has she done well without them? Okay, sure, yeah, I guess. But you tell me any other better singles that she had? Bills, pay my bills, whatever the way it goes. And then Bootylicious. When she was with Destiny's Child, I appreciated her more. That's all I'm gonna say. That's it. Catchier songs. That's me. Couple more. How about this one? Here's one, a sports reference. In 2004, it ended the 86-year curse of the Billy Goat for the Boston Red Sox. They won the World Series in 2004. Maga or Malaka? Yeah,
Maga. I actually remember that World Series win as well, and I thought it was pretty cool.
Here's one. It's a show that in 2004, I had no idea that it was going to be this good, and I might go start downloading it again. Desperate Housewives, Maga or Malaka?
Is this a safe zone, Mitch?
Oh, you know it is, partner.
No one's listening, realistically.
Let's go.
Not
Maybe
this
South Carolina
podcast.
George, maybe Superfan Ryan.
Yeah, we got 4 people.
Yeah.
MAGA, I got to tell you, what a great show. What a breath of fresh air that I can
Right.
go on a Sunday night and watch something with my wife that we both can enjoy in a very, very non-typical male genre.
3 more for you. 3 more.
Okay.
Facebook literally started in 2004. Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah, MAGA, come on, man. Come on. Even people.
I
that
guess
think
we just
Malaga
don't want to
is
admit it. We
MAGA.
just don't want to admit it. We just
No
don't.
one wants to admit it.
Second last one. In 2004, hey, Calgary fan, you know what happened. Tampa won the Stanley Cup. Was it a goal? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? But they did. They have it. Their names are on the trophy. MAGA or Malacca.
Unfortunately, MAGA, because they actually were the best team that year. I know. It is what it is.
We just lost a listener. And last one, here it is. 2004. Where were you, Greek fan? It's the Euro. It was crazy. The world went crazy. Well, you can't beat Portugal. You can't beat Spain. You can't beat the Czech Republic. Helada. Euro champions. The greatest Cinderella story of all time. MAGA or Malacca.
Mitch, clearly MAGA. Not only was it the greatest Euro Cup win of all time, it might be the greatest championship win of all time. And I'll never forget it because I was in Greece when that happened, in Athens, watching it, celebrating it, taking every part of it. And then for the next 3 months, celebrate it with some more Greeks. No, it was unbelievable. About as unbelievable as it is doing this podcast with my partner with an H at the end, Mr. Mitch. Look, roster, thank you so much for always tuning in. We want to talk about great wins. We got the greatest fans. We got the roster from all around the world tuning in. Really appreciate it. How do you find us? Very simple, at RLRT for Twitter and Instagram, Real Locker Room Talk. If you're searching on Facebook, don't forget RLRT TV is how you can listen to this podcast and view the whole recording. We're going to put it up there for you for your viewing pleasure. Look, the fact of the matter is this: please like, share, subscribe to it. Help us grow this thing, like we said. And of course, the podcast itself, Podbean, Spotify, iTunes is where you can download this beautiful thing of ours as well. But look, it's episode, I had to look at my notes because I couldn't believe it. I had to pinch myself. It's episode 168. We got to shove it in the locker because guess what? We do have to hit the showers. Thank you, roster.
Have a great week, everyone. Take it easy.
Take it easy.
Real quick. You know what would have been even more epic outside of the goal? Like, and it's not like they were thinking about it because, I mean, these guys, if somebody pulled a fustanella out of the crowd and just put it on and they started Greek dancing or something after they scored the winning goal, that would just been like, if there's a cherry to put on top of a cherry, wouldn't have that been it?
I think that the Greeks should be playing all sports in a fustanella. Right, like
now
really
you're onto something,
right? Like the Scots, they should be wearing the kilts. Like this is what we want to see. You want not stop changing the jersey design.
Yeah,
get that fustanella out there. Do it.
It's kind of like ring attire, like in wrestling, right? You know what I mean? You show up with the robe. Well, why can't people just show up in a fustanella and they do the spin and they give it to the guy outside?
Yeah, and I think like Italy, for example, why aren't they dressing like gladiators?
Yeah. Hey, Giuseppe, you got on my Hey, you got no, you don't got it? Okay, no problem.
Buddy, that is hilarious. So let's let's see. Buddy, this game, I'm watching the ticker, hey? The Clippers, it's 72-69 for the Clippers right now. So it's within 3. Third quarter. Man, does it go 7 or do you think whoever wins today just
I think whoever wins today pulls it off.
I think so. I think so too, man. I think so.
I think this team, if there's ever going to be a gang fight in a basketball game, it's going to be these guys. Like they seem to really hate each other, and rightfully so. Last year, they Dallas came back and knocked out the Clippers, and then this year they've just been all over them and back and forth. And with the Clippers, hey, listen, with the Lakers on their way out, the Clippers better man up and win this. They might have a chance in the West now. Like,
Mitch,
this is their only chance.
You know, it's funny. Man, why didn't we talk about this during basketball? But whatever, we can. There'll be much to talk about. But if the Clippers don't close this one out. What do you do with that team now? Do you start thinking about changes, or is it one of those, no, just keep it? We've just been on the losing side.
There's a saying, the Clippers are going to clip. Like, bottom line, they're just that. If they end up losing, it's exactly what everyone expects them to be doing. That's the bad part about the Clippers.
Okay, so who would you rather? Would you rather play for the Clippers or the Maple Leafs?
Shit, great question. I'm going to take the Clippers because I suck on the skates. I got weak ankles. But let me on the 3-point line. It's draining like threes, baby.
I would just retire. I'd pull a Lindros. No, thanks. No, have the jersey back. I'm good.
Me and Kawhi together. I could see that happening.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You'd be playing with the greatest Raptor of all time.
Kawhi's hands is probably bigger than my whole torso.
Yeah. I can actually believe that.
He's like, I'll palm a Mitch.
He palmed me. Imagine if that guy was a pilot. Woo! You're talking. Holy smokes. Boeing. That's the Airbus right there. Wow.
That's 21. I'm not going to encourage you. I am not encouraging you. No, I'm staying away from it.